Hey guys, get ready with me while I tell you about how I got Girl Meets World. So most people still recognize me from Girl Meets World, even though I was only 6 years old. And I feel like I look really different, but apparently I don't. So I'm going to tell you guys how I booked it, because it wasn't a typical auditioning process. Okay, so initially, and I was 6 years old, right? So this was a long time ago. This was 11 years ago. So initially, I went in for the role of young Maya, and I only had 2 lines. Like, my audition was 2 lines. I went in there, I said my 2 lines, and they said, thank you, like, just go outside, talk to the casting directors, right? So I go outside, and I talk to them, and they say, yeah, actually, now we're gonna have you audition for young Riley. Because the show, it was very early, but, so I didn't really know all the characters, but my mom had showed me what Riley looked like. And I was like, well, how could I play a young version of her? Anyway, I learned the lines, and then I went back in and auditioned for young Riley. But keep in mind, this is all on the same day. I go out, I go back in. And then they say, that was great, we're gonna now have you audition for young Missy. So we were like, okay, we don't know who that is. But sure, you know, it's another character, it's another opportunity, another audition. So I stayed longer, they gave me new sides, and then I learned those sides. And then after I auditioned for young Missy, they were like, okay, great, we're just gonna ask you to hang around for a little bit. So then I go back outside into like the waiting room, right? And there's all these girls going in and out, auditioning and leaving. And then my mom and I were just waiting there because they had told us to stay. So we were just staying in the waiting room and like very curious as to what was going on. So then after like everybody left, then the casting directors came and talked to my mom and I and had said that the creators and writers were working on something for me. And we were like, what? And they were like, I don't know, but they must really like her. Like they're working on something in there. And then I go in and they give me a piece of paper and they say, can you just read these lines off? That's just not typical. You're given your lines before so you can memorize them, and then you go in prepared. You never read off a piece of paper in the audition room. So they gave me the piece of paper, and they were like, just read these however you would read them, right? And I go, so I have the paper, and I go, is that a Mr. Googly? I want him. I'm taking your Mr. Googly. It was like something like that, right? And then I looked up and all the writers were there and the creator, Michael Jacobs. So there were like 6 people sitting right in front of me. And Michael looked at me and he created Girl Meets World and Boy Meets World, like icon. And he looks at me and he goes, I don't know what you're going to be, but you're definitely going to be in the show. So then after he says that, I scream and I run across the room and I jump into his lap and I give him the biggest hug because I'm so happy. And I know it's a Disney show and it was like my dream to be on Disney. And then after that, we got a call, I want to say it was that night, but it was that night. And they said that I was going to be on set the next morning. So they gave us the address. I still didn't know who I was going to play. Then I went and I read some lines, like they gave me a script, we went in. And they were still trying to figure everything out. Like, they didn't have my character completely figured out yet. They just knew, like, they wanted me in the show. And then they created Ava Morgenstern. Like, they created that role for me. Like, after they met me, they made that role, and then they kept my name. Isn't that crazy? Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed.